So we got a pretty good response yesterday when we did the vlog, or I guess the thoughts. I'm coming to you live from my quarantine zone, which is our office. So everyone's working remotely. So this actually became probably the safest place in Atlanta to be right now. But we saw a pretty good response yesterday to the vlog. So I figured let's do another one, and I'll keep doing these until they take me off the air. Hopefully that doesn't happen. But anyway, what I want to talk about today, and again, this is always coming from conversations that I'm having with other entrepreneurs, other law firm owners, and what's been fascinating to me around this time, as we've been experiencing the coronavirus, the stock market, all these things, that it's interesting times indeed. But I'm finding that so many people have been devoting their attention to studying the coronavirus and the stock market, and they're watching a lot of TV, and they're on social media and learning about the coronavirus, and they know exactly what's going on with that and then the stock market. But during this time, are you paying attention, or as much attention to your business as you are the coronavirus and the stock market? Because it's funny, I find that people know exactly, like business owners know exactly how many new cases of coronavirus there were in another country and how many points the Dow Jones went down by last week. But how many know what's going on in their own business? Meaning, like, do you know your average case value, your cost of acquisition? I mean, when was the last time you looked at your P&L statements? And this is so interesting to me because we talked about yesterday. Obviously this is a difficult time, and I'm not trying to downplay that in any way. I look at this from the standpoint that you can either be proactive or reactive. So I want to be optimistic, but it's my firm belief as a business owner that you will never make more money in any investment, whether it's stocks, Bitcoin, whatever it is, than investing in yourself and in your business. No other greater investment you can possibly make. And there's no greater ROI. And not to mention, you could have more control in your own business than you do in the stock market or anything like that. So this is fascinating to me because where should your attention be going right now? Obviously, number one, it's to the safety of your family, your team, and your community, without a doubt. But we're spending a lot of time, whether it's like quarantine or remote or at home or wherever it might be. And as a result, it's like, what do you do with all that time? Do you terrify yourself by watching CNN and Fox News and social media about how the coronavirus is spreading? Or can you use this time productively to really be able to grow and learn? So this is an interesting time because people ask, well, where should I invest? Where should I invest money? And they're looking for like a stock tip or whatever it is. And if you're a business owner, I'm telling you now, and I'm also doing this, this is all recorded, so this is public, like there is no greater ROI than investing in your business right now. None. And in fact, this is one of those things right now, when you look at where's attention, there's more attention on social media right now than pretty much anywhere else. Facebook consumption has doubled in the last 7 days. And in fact, this is a time where you can look at arbitrage in a way. Like this is, I find that like growth-minded business leaders look for arbitrage opportunities, meaning that when attention is cheap and less competitive. But you might be asking, Mike, is it appropriate? Because I've been hearing this a lot too. It's like, is it appropriate to market my business in a time like this? Is it this off color? Is it just not like, people have other things to worry about, like what, they don't want to see ads for my business and things like that. And I understand where that sentiment is coming from. But if you're providing a valuable service, if your clients need you and prospective clients need you, and you're not in the conversation, they'll see ads for the coronavirus. They'll see blog posts, videos, all sorts of terror, and they're going to get terrified regardless. But you're just going to limit yourself from being in the conversation wherever attention is being placed. So I look at this from the standpoint that let others decide, and let consumers decide and clients decide whether it's appropriate or inappropriate. But assuming that you're providing an ethical service, that you operate with integrity, that if somebody, let's say, is in an accident, they're injured, they're experiencing some sort of crisis, you exist to help people, without a doubt. So to not get your message out there is doing you not only your business a disservice, but everybody in your community a disservice. And not to mention, attention's really cheap. I'm finding that the most successful business owners that I'm speaking with right now are doubling down right now, And I'm not trying to sound insensitive because I know people are going through a very difficult time, but there's a lot of opportunity because attention is cheap right now, particularly on social media. It's very cost effective. We're doubling our investment in Crisp on our social ads. You don't have to do that with us. I would strongly recommend doing it because it's a great opportunity. The same way people look at it and say, well, the market is down, 20%, 30% or more, pretty good time to invest in the market. If you've got a long-term outlook, but if you had the choice between investing in something you don't control and investing in your own business, which you do control, and investing in yourself. I mean, think about which one you should choose every single time. I'm not saying don't diversify, but again, this is a truly great opportunity. The other thing I want to encourage, and that I've seen just in my own life play out, is being anti-frugal. Seeing a lot of people pull back and contract right now, but the most successful firm owners I'm speaking with, they're expanding. They're not contracting. They're investing more. Pulling back, on your investments, and pulling back and on any spend you might make in your business and your team, letting people off. They might stop the bleeding today, but pulling back is not a growth strategy. Okay, reducing your investment in your business, in your marketing, in your team is not a great growth strategy. The ones that are doing the due diligence and investing now are going to reap the rewards later. So in a way, it's like you're building your business now, and you'll collect later when this does blow over. But don't miss out on the opportunity right now, at least. And again, I have to be optimistic to take advantage of the fact that attention is really cheap. Running ads is much more cost effective. There's a lot of more people spending time on social because they're spending time at home. It's the same thing with TV ads and things like that. The people are at home. They're consuming more of this content, and it's great to be in the conversation. So that those would be the main things that I would say. It's spend the way you want to be paid. Okay, this has been like a maxim throughout my life. So meaning that if you are being cheap, and if you are pulling back, you don't want to invest with your vendors, you don't want to invest in your team or whatever it is, but you expect your clients to invest in you, that there seems to be a bit of a misalignment there. If you approach things from a growth mindset, and you are spending in the way and investing in the way that you want to be paid, you'll always see it come back. I mean, throughout my life, that's consistently been the case. And then finally, like I said, there's no greater ROI than investing in yourself. If nothing else, I've got some book recommendations for you. I mean, we made a recommendation yesterday on Commit to 3 that we've been using here internally for task management and prioritization while our team's been remote, and that's worked great. But if you had to read some great books, let's see, I've got Extreme Ownership by Jocko Willink, How Navy SEALs Lead and Win. This is a phenomenal book. I strongly encourage you, especially during this time, taking ownership over what you can control and approaching things proactively rather than reactively. And also, this is great for the team to read as well. The other thing we talked about, yesterday we talked about getting a grip and leaders leading and having calm. Extreme Ownership is a great book for that. But another one is Traction. So by Gino Wickman. So this is also a great book. It's if you don't have, let's say, a great organizational structure within your business, a great business operating system. Gino's he wrote the book Traction, but also is the founder of EOS. This is something we do in our business, and many of our clients, many attorneys have seen success with this. So this could be a great time to learn about this. And then finally, there's this book that I wrote, The Game Changing Attorney, a couple years ago, and I wrote this book specifically for attorneys that were going through difficult times and challenges, and that were struggling to compete, struggling to stand out. If you've read the book, this could be a great time to reread it. If you haven't read the book, I certainly encourage you to. You don't have to do any business with Chris, but I believe there's some valuable insights in the book. It's essentially, we wrote it with all the knowledge we had on marketing, branding, business mindset, all these things. You can pick it up on Amazon, and given what we're experiencing right now and what we're all going through, we decided to basically, if you haven't gotten the book yet, we're making the Kindle version basically 99 cents through the rest of March and April. So if you haven't picked it up, I certainly encourage you to. You won't offend me if you don't, but it's definitely something that I encourage you to pick up at this time. And then finally, I guess just to wrap this up, since we're talking about where our attention is going, I'm not saying that you shouldn't be learning about the updates of the coronavirus and the updates in the stock market, but just make sure that you're not neglecting your business along the way. If people were to focus on their own business as much as they focus on coronavirus and where the Dow Jones is, that perhaps will lead to many growth opportunities, and they may not be in the tough financial situation that they're in, or at least would have proactive solutions for how to approach it. So when you know your numbers, remember, information is power, and also you can approach things in a much, much different way. So that's all I got for this one. If you guys enjoy this, let me know, comment. We'll keep doing this, like I said, until they take me off the air. And I appreciate all of you. And if there's anything you need, please reach out to me anytime.